is a parenthesis. Because my camera isn't working, I found a way to use my iPad. But I won't talk a lot about that. I've got a new Star Wars book. Yes. I am currently reading a lot of actually books, Star Wars books, but I didn't really finish them. I'm reading another one by my friend Alexei. He bought me it, so thank you very much. But today I wanted to talk about this short one. Now it's in Russian, so unfortunately you might not understand everything here, but it's a very interesting one. It's called The Atlas of the Galaxy Far, Far Away. So, one second. On the first page, on the first page, we have this map of the galaxy with all the planets labeled in their right places. Now, I don't really have much to talk about here, except for probably just one thing. Remember in the Revenge of the Sith, Padme was pregnant, so she went to the hospital on Polis Massa, the planet, and while Darth Vader was burning, he was brought to Coruscant. Well, I can see now that there is a huge thing. So look, this is Mustafar, the planet on which Darth Vader lay and burned, and on which Padme began to be pregnant. Obi-Wan and he took Padme for the hospital here to Polis Massa, which is very good since even though it's very far away, this is the closest place probably. While Emperor Palpatine took Darth Vader from Mustafar all the way here to Coruscant, which makes sense since the Emperor has his own hospital there and he's ruling there. But if he wanted to Darth Vader to have more chances of survival, I'm not some big nitpicker. I just am saying this is very interesting. He could have taken him, I don't know, to tackle that, I don't know, to Jakku, probably to Hosnian Prime. Now I know Hosnian Prime is very close to Coruscant, but it's closer to Mustafar than Coruscant actually is. Hosnian Prime is actually very similar to Coruscant. Many might have even mistaken it for Coruscant since Hosnian Prime is the planet which exploded by Starkiller Base in Episode 7. Now, going away from the planets in this book, we have all the important people in the history of the Star Wars saga. We have all of them here. Qui-Gon Jinn, Palpatine, they're all here. All the most important characters, all the fan favorites, all of those who matter to all of us and who made this galaxy what they are. This is very interesting. You can take a screenshot right now if you want to look at all this. Okay, I'm holding it. Okay. Now we go into the most interesting part. Different planets from the Star Wars galaxy, the most important ones at least, are represented here. 2 pages for each, so like two papers. And I really like how they use the art style to basically show what happened on those planets using drawings and in which places, and also they wrote when it was, like 14 before the Battle of Yavin or 15 between the Battle of Yavin, and yeah. So this is the thing. This is Dathomir, so you can take a screenshot. Dathomir is the planet of the Night Sisters, which are like the witches of the Star Wars universe, being kind of force sensitive and having a deep connection with force magic. This is also Darth Maul's homeworld and Asajj Ventress's homeworld. Next we have Yavin 4, which is obviously the moon where the rebels made their base in episode 4 and Rogue One, and also the latest season of Star Wars Rebels. And it's a very cool one. We saw very little of it, I'd say, in the films, but we saw the Maya-like, Aztec-like temples that they built, and how they were modernized to fit the rebels a bit more. Next we have Mon Cala. This is a planet that wasn't featured in the movies at all. Well, Dathomir also wasn't, but I'm just saying. It's an ocean world, and I really like it. It was home to the Mon Calamari and the Quarren species. During the Clone Wars, there was conflict against the two races inhabiting the planet, and then the Quarren called in the Separatists to begin a war. Prince Lee Char was a very important historical picture for them, as at first in the Clone Wars, many people thought that he wasn't sort of good enough to be their new king after his father was murdered by Riff Tamson. However, he proved that he could be a nice king, and he became king. I'm listening to the Darth Vader comics read by a YouTube channel, I don't remember the name, and it is featured slightly in the newest issues. It's an underwater world, also connecting everything by the pipes and sort of so on. This is also the homeworld of Admiral Ackbar. This is Mortis. Now, Mortis was probably one of the craziest places we saw in the Star Wars universe. After all, Mortis wasn't an ordinary world. It was a magical, almost mythical sort of place. Not many people had a connection with it, and it was only like Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, and Anakin sort of got there accidentally. However, Anakin and all of them found out many very interesting things there. The place basically has 3 people in charge. The son, who represents the dark side, the father, the balance, and the daughter, the light side. They all rule to sort of balance the force out. They are almost like mythical gods. Despite not appearing in the movies, Lothal was a very important part of Star Wars Rebels, as it was the birthplace or sort of the home place of many for our main characters. Ezra Bridger, our main antagonist, was born there. And basically, many things happened on Lothal. This is where the basic rebellion began, and where people began going against the Emperor and the Empire, understanding its true nature of evil. Kashyyyk is the homeworld of the Wookiees. During the Clone Wars, Kashyyyk was attacked by the armies of the Confederacy of Independent Systems, also known as the Separatist Alliance. Yoda and his clone troopers, including Commander Gree, came to assist the Wookiees in the Hard War. However, about in the middle of the battle, Order 66 was given. Many Wookiees unaware that the clones sort of betrayed the Jedi, were also killed or enslaved to become the biggest slaves and the first slaves of the Galactic Empire. Chewbacca was from that place, as was Tarful. Mandalore was an important planet in the Star Wars galaxy. It was basically during the Clone Wars, it was governed by the Prime Minister Almec, and Duchess Satine. Both of them wanted the planet to remain neutral, not to join into the war between the Republic as the Separatists. Sidious, aka Palpatine, needed that world in the war, so he did everything he could so that the events would unfold that the Republic basically needs to go into assistance for Mandalore. However, his plans failed. Almec, the Prime Minister, later became sort of a very corrupt minister, actually getting a lot of money from poisoning children in the schools of the city. So he was arrested and was in jail. Duchess Satine was ruling until her homeworld was invaded by Darth Maul's armies of bounty hunters, where they freed Almec and killed Duchess Satine. Maybe. Rhodia was a swamp-like, jungle-like planet that was sort of in the Clone Wars. Onaconda Farr, the leader of Rhodia, made a treaty with Nute Gunray to give him Senator Amidala. In basically when Nute Gunray needed to give Onaconda Farr and his people the supplies that the Republic won't give them because they are voting very long. However, Onaconda Farr soon realizes his mistake in joining the Separatists. Everything turns good, and basically, yeah. Also, Rhodia was the place where Cad Bane, a bounty hunter, kidnapped a Force-sensitive child. Ryloth was the homeworld of the Twi'leks, such as Cham Syndulla, Hera Syndulla. I don't know much of them. Probably Bib Fortuna, Ula, Ayla Secura. And was invaded by the Confederacy of Independent Systems, led by cruel leader Wat Tambor. The Twi'leks, however, defeated, and with the help of Mace Windu and his clones, they took over their palace once again, and Wat Tambor was captured for the most of the rest of the war. That's all I have for you today. I really enjoyed this. Oh, no, that's not all I have for you today, guys. There is a last page, which is basically about the different creatures. Such as, starting off with the Zillo Beast. The Zillo Beast was a rare creature with only one of its kinds left in the world. However, Palpatine killed it for his own evil purposes. This video is going for too long. Here you can take a snapshot, and if you want any questions, just ask them for me in the comments below, because I will definitely answer them if you want to know more. Operensis is out. Thank you very much.